Welcome viewers to a new episode of the DENSO Tech Academy video tutorial series. Today's topic, I would like to show you the BHT Remote application running on the BHT and giving us the possibility to remotely connect over the wireless network to the BHT and visualize the screen and operate the device from a remote machine. So today I would like to show you how to configure the BHT Remote application, get it up and running, and then connect from the PC side to the device. So I have prepared a BHT 1800 here, which is basically out of the box, factory default, and I have configured, of course, the wireless network because this is what we need to connect to it remotely, and I have enabled it to show you the screen here on my demonstration system. So let's have a look at the device. I have here my remote screen, and in the corner you see the camera view on the device laying on the desk. I will operate it here using this remote screen. This is a remote screen I'm using with the developer options. So this is a cable connection now using the USB cable, and what we would like to do now is to enable the device to remote connect to it using the wireless network. Okay. So if we look at all the applications here, we have the BHT Remote application. And if we start the BHT Remote application, it's starting up and it's asking us for a license. So we have to understand that the BHT Remote application is one application where we would need an additional license key for it. So what I will do is I will install the license key here on the device, pasting it in and clicking OK. And now it says the license registration is complete for BHT Remote. Okay, good. So this was the first step. We have to understand that the license we have installed is now installed on a certain area in the device. And of course, if we do a factory reset of the device, the license key gets lost. So what we need to do in this case is, if we want to reset the device and make sure that it is coming to a defined state, sometimes we want to have this, we should not use the factory default, but the enterprise reset. The enterprise reset on the device makes sure that installed license keys are persisting on the device. We have seen that if we start the BHT Remote, the BHT license application is coming up and asking us for the license key. So what we could do as well is use the BHT license application, start it up. If we have a key, enter the access code here for the key, press OK, and then this will register the license as well. So there are two ways actually to register the license for the BHT Remote. Good. So we have the license key now registered, and the moment we now start the BHT Remote, it is starting up. So what we see is this is the BHT Remote screen. We see the wireless LAN IP address, which we need later on, of course, to connect to the device. And we see here a sign showing us that the BHT Remote application is not actually configured and not running. So what we need to do first is we select from the menu the settings, and first we have to set a few settings to make sure that we can connect to the device. The first thing and important thing is changing the password. So by default there is no password set. So to make sure that not everybody can connect to the device running the BHT Remote application, we want to make sure that the communication is password protected. So what I will do now here is I will enter a very simple password, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And of course I need to confirm the password, which I will do now. And now I register the password. And it says, oh, I should have read this. The password must contain some some special characters and a lowercase and an uppercase and so on and so on. So the usual simple passwords, which I like to use to make it more easier in the demonstration purpose, I cannot use it here. So I need to create a more complicated password. Good, then let's do this. Let's make DWEU minus 2019 and confirm the password DWEU minus 2019. To make sure I have the correct passwords, I can even show the passwords here. Okay, I've done this. Register the password, and now I get the message password successfully changed. Okay, that's the first step. Important step as well, I need to specify the right keyboard layout to make sure that if I'm typing something on my remote keyboard, that these characters are recognized and displayed in the correct way on the device. So my remote keyboard is a German keyboard. In this case, I will pick German here as the keyboard layout, which I would like to use. And last but not least, in the remote settings, I can configure port number, remote connection. We see here it's disabled. Startup type manual. I can pick up here and say, okay, I would like to have the BHT Remote application to automatically start up. So to make sure that even if the device is reset, that the remote application is automatically started, and I have the possibility then to remote control the device. So the important setting here is I have to enable the remote connection. If I haven't done this, even I have configured everything else and I try to start it, it will not work. Good. So that's everything. Pretty much everything we need to do here on the device side. The next thing we need to do is we need to press the play button to make sure, and we see here the icon has changed. Now the device is ready to receive a remote application. So the next thing we need is the BHT Remote application, the host side part of this application. The host side part, we can find it in the, if we download the OS and SDK package, we can open it up here. And if we go into tools, we find here a folder BHT Remote. And there is the application, which I simply need to start. I don't need to install it. I simply can start it from here. I have created a desktop link here to start the application, and this is what I will do now. So this is the application, and I have to fill in some things which I have done in advance. I have to fill in a terminal name, and now of course I need to make sure that I have the right IP address. We see here the last time I have used it, I've used it with a different device. With a different IP address. So I need to make sure that the IP address is matching. So it's the 128 for this device. I have the port number here, and this as well is the password. This is the password we just set on the device. If we're not using here the same password, we will not be able to communicate with the device. So we need to make sure that we type in here the same password. So I have typed it in, and everything else I leave it as default, and now I press the connect button. And we see here now we are connected. We are remotely connected to the device. We see this here. This is the remote connection window. I can press the home button, and we see on both screens on the device this is recognized. I can pick an application, start up an application, something like this, here, starting up this application or whatsoever. Now it's checking some Google stuff. I don't want to have this. So I will go back to the home screen. Of course, I can go in here and exit running applications. Of course, I will not exit the BHT Remote application because this would lead to the situation that the connection gets lost. I have here my BHT license application, and I can exit this application remotely as well. So we see the BHT remote is running, and if we look at the device, we see here in the upper corner that we have a connection. If I swipe down from the top to the bottom from the device, we see here BHT remote is connected. So anytime the connection is established, the operator can recognize that the device is connected and that there is somebody who can remotely control the device or see what I'm doing. So let's have a look here. We have here the connection. We can connect or disconnect from the device. Of course, we leave it connected for now. We can change the mode, and if we do this, we see here we have 3 different modes. The assistant mode, this is the mode where we are currently in. The desktop mode, this is a mode which I will show you shortly, and last but not least, the view mode. So the assistant mode, this is the startup mode which we started, is the mode where we have the possibility to control the device. If I change the mode to the view mode, I cannot control the device remotely anymore. I can press here anything, nothing will happen. But if I go onto the device and press here the home button, then this will be reflected. So I, as the remote operator or the supporter, can see what the user is doing. So if there is any problem, he's having problem with an application, I can tell him, okay, I will go onto your device remotely and I would like to see what you're doing to reproduce the problem. And then I can instruct him what to change. Changing back to the desktop, to the assistant mode. Now I can operate the device again, so I can start up the BHT Remote application, and let's say I would like to go into settings. Now I have to enter the password. So I don't want the operator to see the password. So what can I do? We see here on our screens the password screen. And now the important thing is this is the remote screen, and this is what in the camera view you see what the operator can see. Now I change the mode to the desktop mode. And the desktop mode means that only I, as the remote operator, can operate the device. And we see it now in the camera view. The view of the device has been blacked out. So there is a black cover on top of everything what is happening. You see here in the remote connection, which I do via the cable, that this is not reflected. But for the operator, the screen is now black. And what I can do now remotely, I can type in the password and press OK. And then I come to the settings screens. I can adjust my settings, whatever I would like to do here. Let's say change the keyboard or something like this, go back. And the moment I have done this, I can then switch back to the assistant mode, which means that the device screen is enabled again. And the operator of the device can see again what I am doing when I'm remotely controlling this device. Well, that's pretty much it. Let's see what we have here. Power key action. Of course, I can switch on and off the device. I can restart the device remotely from here using this one. So we see here wake up, sleep, or terminal restart. So if I would like to have it, I can restart the device. And finally, we have some other parts here in the menu. We can take a screenshot of the remote screen, let's say for our documentation, and we can adjust the volume of the device remotely. So this is possible as well. Well, yeah, that's pretty much it. So you see, it's a very simple setup, very simple configuration. We have to keep a few things in mind. we have to have a license for the BHT Remote, and then we can easily control this. If you have seen the device management system tutorial already, then you will have recognized that the device management system can use the BHT Remote as well. And of course, if I have multiple devices and I would like to remotely support them, then the device management system option would be the best option. But of course, as well, I can use it in a single standalone mode using the remote desktop application, the host side part. So, I hope this tutorial was helpful for you. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment below and we'll answer as soon as possible. Or send us a message. You can find our contact details in the description below as well. If you want to see more video tutorials from the DENSO Tech Academy or other video content from DENSO, check out our channel. Or subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on new videos. Thank you very much and have a good day. Bye.